Hello friends, my name is Rishabh Raj and I'm a first year student at BITS Pilani. Okay, so today with me is Srikar Puranik, whose BITSAT score is 407, and today he would be guiding the juniors that how they can prepare for BITSAT and can bring a score of 400 plus. Hello Srikar.
Hi, man. Hi, hi.
So first of all, I would like to
Nice to see
ask
you.
your JE ranks and BITSAT score.
My BitSat score, like you said, was 407. My JEE mains rank was 5K something. I had gotten 99.5 percentile. And my JEE advanced rank was also 2600 and something. I don't remember the exact numbers.
Yeah, no problem.
But yeah.
Hmm.
So I joined FitG in 11th standard, I think, like most people, at the
Hmm.
starting. And the thing about FitG is they'll give you scholarships even if you haven't done very well. So I
Yeah,
had gotten a nice scholarship. I was like, okay, I've gotten good scholarship, means I'm going to top IIT Bombay CS, guaranteed,
yeah.
got scholarship. That I
Yeah.
was thinking all of that. And so I didn't take my JEE preparation seriously. In 11th standard and in my school preparation, I was thinking I'm smart naturally. Couple days before the exam, I'll go full revision. Other than that, I don't have to do much work. So I was doing that, and near the end of 11th standard, they were doing these my mock tests from whatever we've learned in 11th. No, so
Hmm.
all those mock tests we were doing, and I wasn't doing very well. I was getting like 1 lakh. One of them was 1 lakh predicted rank in J advanced. I was thinking this is just fake. This is not proper. I'm doing really well. I was making excuses basically,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I then my dad told me don't focus on J. You first focus on your school and see if you can do well in that first. And I was like, oh, he's not understanding. I'm too smart. I'll focus on J only. And he said, no, focus on school. So I said, okay, I'll prove it to him. I'll focus on school. I focused on school. I failed my chemistry exam. I did bad in physics and math. And that moment it hit me. That is when I realized, oh shit, okay, I have to prepare well. I have to study. And the next day when, summer holidays started, I really started working hard. I woke up at 5 o'clock and I slept at 11 o'clock and I did all the irregular things. And that's mainly what it is, isn't it? It's all hard work. There's no shortcut whatsoever. You have
Yeah.
to work hard if you want to get to top college. I worked hard. I did well. My ranks were slowly improving. And during the lockdown, I utilized my time well. And that's basically how I got to 407.
According to me, the best thing is consistency. If you consistently study, if one studies for 2 years consistently, I'm sure he would land a very good JE rank. I'm sure about this.
Yeah,
And people don't do
definitely.
this. I've also not done this. We would directly go to the point. So the thing is,
Yeah.
we need to discuss about BitSat. Okay, so today. So the thing is, the first question is simply how you scored 400 plus.
Well, it's a combination of factors, I would say. First thing is I would say I really solved more questions than I read theory. And I would say that was a big part of my strategy. Because what most of my friends did, as in people I know from Fiji and all that, what they would do is they would read the theory and then they'd try and solve a question. And then if they couldn't solve that question, then they'd say, okay, I haven't read the theory well enough. I'll again read the theory once again. And so they would end up reading the chapter 6 or 7 times. And while it's good to know your theory, I'm not saying don't read your theory. I'm saying you should do more questions because that is really what helps you understand, what helps you learn. I actually had a blue book. I had a book in which I wrote all the mistakes from my questions and whatever lessons I learned from my questions. And I learned a lot more from solving questions than I did reading the theory. So I would say that's definitely a big part of what I did. Yeah, that's one of my main points.
Yeah, after you said this, I also realized that this was also my mistake. I used to revise my theory a lot of times and not solve too many questions. So yeah, that's a great thing. And
Yeah.
mock tests, yeah, mock tests also very important. Many people don't give mock tests because they think that their syllabus is not complete. What would you like to comment on that?
I'd say you that shouldn't be yeah, that shouldn't discourage you from taking mock tests. Even if your syllabus is not complete, there'll be some syllabus parts which and then you should take mock tests for that. And if your syllabus is not complete, then while learning that non-completed syllabus parts, your extra stuff which you haven't learned yet, you should do mock tests as well because, like I said, they do help a lot. They can give you exam strategies. It teaches you all the different question types, how to approach different questions, how to solve questions, like what is the strategy you have for solving each question. This isn't something that most toppers can tell you. It's all about how well you can do it, and you learn that from mock tests.
Yeah, so you cannot learn everything by just listening to the toppers or by listening the YouTube videos. The thing is, you need to
Yeah.
solve them by your own, and you have to understand where your faults are and what you need to change. Hmm.
Yeah, so even I read NCRT and all that, but like I said, my main thing was solving the questions, previous JE questions, previous BitSat questions, all of that. And the good part about that is when you solve previous questions, you know which topics you're lacking in, and then you can go back to NCRT and quickly revise it. 5 minutes, you make a note of what all you don't know. Next morning, you revise that and memorize it. But then again, the next couple of hours after you've memorized it, again solve the rest of the questions. So you can constantly keep track of your progress.
The thing with solving questions is also that if you make a mistake in some question, then you can remember it for a long time. But if we solve a problem and we are not able to solve that question, then later we remember it always that yeah, I failed to solve that question,
That's,
and then I remembered that theory and then I solved it. That is the thing.
yeah, that's actually a really good point because that reminds me of a situation. I think when I was in Fiji. Yeah, so like in Fiji there was a scenario, a situation where one of my friends had a question with one of his doubts, and the teacher came and explained the question. Even I was having difficulty with that question, and he explained one small point which I had missed out, which I didn't really realize. And when he gave us that tip, that clue during the exam, I thought, okay, wow, this makes a lot of sense. And I still remember that tip even during my J Advance. So solving questions really helps, like you said, helps you remember a lot of the things that you wouldn't remember just revising theory.
Hmm. So let's move ahead. If you would like to give some tips to the juniors, except these points like you should solve more questions and you should give a lot of mock tests, any other tip you would like to give?
Well, one thing is, we have English in BitSat. So if we're talking specifically about BitSat, I know a lot of people solve a lot of English questions. They bring a lot of English if they want to do well in it. And I would say that's good, but I don't think it's a good idea to specifically study for English. It's because it's very hard. The types of questions they ask definitions and synonyms and all that, don't they?
Mhm.
And so for those types of questions, you can't really memorize the whole dictionary. So it's better to focus more on your physics and math. You're lacking stuff, focus more on your J Advanced, and BitSat will come naturally.
Very important point came into my mind also is that mostly what they ask in English and reasoning, I feel, is what you have learned till class 10. Till class 10th, what is your English knowledge? That will help you the most. It's not that in last 30 days or 40 days you will read a lot of English and you will go on to score completely. It's not like that. It's about your basic knowledge, how much vocabulary you have gained in the last 10 or 12 years. And reasoning is also like that. And some questions will be like comprehensive types, which I think most of the people can do because you have been giving your reading exams, that English paper you have, that is reading, writing, etc. So I think English and reasoning, it's
Yeah.
easy, and some parts are really hard. So it's mixture of
Yeah,
both.
yeah.
Yeah. So now,
Yeah, you don't have to study for English.
you don't have.
Which is actually one more thing I remembered when I said J Advanced. One of my big strategies was studying for the hard parts of that exam. Like when I was preparing for J Advanced, I never did. I mean, I did J Advanced past papers, but my main thing was doing things like MyPad papers, which are difficult. Fiji AITS, Alan Kota papers. They're all above the normal J Advanced level, and they're a lot tougher than the real J Advanced. Which is, my kind of thinking behind that is if you can do those questions, then these questions will turn easy. And that's the same thing with the BitSat. If you're studying for BitSat, you should try J Advanced level questions. Write BitSat mock tests, but try J Advanced level questions. Because then if you can solve those, then these will become easy for you.
I mean, these 2 points are really good, I think, because many people, I've been seeing these comments for a long time. Everybody comments on my videos that which mock test is the best, which mock test is the best. So, with this point, you can think that if you are able to give, you can also give those MyPad tests, or you can give those, Allen tests. And I know these are above par BitSat, but then also you can give, and you can think that it will make you better. Because if you perform, if you get a 200 score in Ellen or in MyPad, you would get a 300 score in BitSat in the real exam,
Yeah.
and it would help you improve.
Yeah, but at the same time, you should, because like I said, the timing, the speed of BitSat is different to the J Advanced. It'll be you have to be quicker in the regular BitSat mock tests. I took Mbibe. I did Mbibe for my regular level BitSat mock tests. That's a good website. I thought it's very
Hmm.
nice.
Yeah, Mbibe is good and it's also free, and it also gives you a
Yeah, yeah,
platform where you can give the tests, they're time based everything.
yeah. No, just apart from high level questions, you should do normal level mock tests also, so that the speed, all your timing or strategy, it's a lot easier to think about this timing stuff when you're taking easier mock tests. So you should do that. You should do normal mock tests also.
You should also give those normal mock tests because that will help you realize how is the bitset environment and how you need to give it in the real test. But you should also give those advanced level mock tests, so that will help you increase your level. Okay,
Yeah,
so
mixture of both.
hmm. So I would like to ask you about those subject-wise tips. Like many people are weak in inorganic chemistry. Some, like you, were weak in organic chemistry. Some people like me are weak in those mechanics and physics part. So if you could tell some subject-wise tips, if you could tell the resources such that like there is around 2-3 months left. So if in consideration to that, if you could tell.
I hate these postponements, man. They're so difficult. Okay, well, let's continue. Yeah. So if there's only 2-3 months left, then what I did 2-3 months ago
Hmm.
was, like I said, do mock tests because during the after the 12th standard, I had finished um, all my revision theory and all that. So after that, it's only mock tests and whatever you can do in terms of questions, whatever you can do in terms of getting more material. I used to ask. I was on a group with my friends where we would all send doubts and I would try and solve them whenever I could. That type of thing. You should try and scavenge for questions. I had to ask all my friends for their papers. But a good websites, like I said, are the main thing is you should do your tuitions, your coaching center material, because they would have curated it in such a way that you should be able to solve every question once you finish all of that. So I finished everything in that FITGI gave me. I did MyPad, I did all the FITGI AITS papers, I did all the FITGI, those books they'll give, everything I did. Anything that the coaching center gives, you should ideally try and complete as much as possible. Ideally, 100%. And apart from that, I asked my friends that were studying in their respective coaching centers. I had a friend, Alan, I asked him for quota papers. I did Mbibe, I did MyPad, um, and yeah, just various test taking websites. And Topper is a good for doubt solving. I did use Topper for doubt solving.
You said your syllabus was complete and you were like in which what to solve, and you were searching for every material you could solve, and you completed all your coaching material also. But one
Yeah,
point I
yeah,
would like to share is that if your syllabus is not complete, then also you should try to give those mock tests and try to solve most of your coaching material, because it's not like only the people who have completed syllabus can do this thing. So you were telling about the subject wise tips. That would
yeah,
be good. Hmm.
yeah. So physics, I used Irodov and HC Verma, obviously.
Hmm.
HC Verma you do when you're starting. Irodov is when you're done and you want to improve your level up to J advanced, up to BitSat level, up to J mains. You want to improve. That's when you use Irodov. And so I used Irodov and again all the coaching material. For chemistry, I made a list here 1 minute. I prepared. For chemistry, I used Morrison and Boyd for organic chemistry, NCRT for inorganic chemistry, and MS Chauhan for organic chemistry. Boyd was only for theory. And for physical chemistry, I didn't have a book as such. I used coaching material. Everything here goes with coaching material also. And yeah, and if you want to do inorganic, like I said, NCRT is a must. And along with that, past paper questions. And then
Hmm.
finally for math, I use Balaji Advanced Mathematics. That's a really good book.
So you used Morrison Boyd. It is so difficult, I think, organic books. I like coaching notes for organic.
Yeah, yeah. I actually didn't make notes. In 11th standard, I didn't make notes, which is where all the main organic chemistry comes,
Ah,
isn't it? The main
yeah.
parts. After that, it's like kind of continued. If you don't know the basics, you're not gonna do well.
You were not only preparing for BitSet, as you were also preparing for JEE. Main focus was on JEE. So should people prepare only for BitSet? What do you think?
No, no, I don't think so. I mean, there's no. Why prepare only for BitSat? You might as well go for the highest if you're preparing that much. No, and most of us here in BITS Pilani are not people who studied only for BITSAT. Most of us here are people who study for J Advanced and then didn't perform well on the day. And then they did well in BITSAT and they went to BITS Pilani. That's how most people are in BITS Pilani. So if you want to get into the BITS Pilani, the top college, then you should not solely prepare for BITSAT. You should aim for higher than that. And then if you don't do well, then you at least land somewhere close by. If you aim for the moon, you land among the stars.
Yeah, so the thing, according to me, the main thing is that you should keep all your doors open. If you only prepare for BITSAT, I don't think you can do well in JEE. But if you prepare for JEE, you can do well in BITSAT for sure.
I'm an icon, man. I'm a girl about a 10. I should fuck her in a Benz.